Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you have time, please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Every day, it really makes my day to read the positive comments. Also, if you have time, please like this video. The more you like videos and share them, the more it helps us out here at YouTube. So I want to talk to you guys about something that someone said to me. He said that he feels like Aquarius may be mostly disappointed in a person when a person, betrays them or, ends up, messing up the relationship. He thinks the Aquarius is mostly disappointed that the person isn't who the Aquarius thought the person was. And I think there is some truth to that, because I do think a lot of times we're betrayed by people that we actually cared about. And I think there's some truth to that. But I think this is really what it is. I think that the Aquarius looks inside of a person and they see their best potential. Those of us who have that kind of vibration, that kind of humanitarian vibration, we look at a person and we see their best. We see their potential. We see what they can accomplish. There has to be something impressive about you for many Aquarius to even bother with you. Many of us are like that. Many of us, if we're not impressed with you or really feel a connection with you or really like something about you, we don't even really bother with people. We're, like I said before, we like to spend time alone. So we only bother dealing with people who really impress us, really move us, really connect with us, we really, really like, So if an Aquarius lets you in, that means they saw something really special in you. Now, the problem with this is that I would say everybody is special. Everybody has something special about them. And it's not that difficult to find it if you really get to know them and pay attention to them. I have met people, like for instance, when I was a younger girl, I knew a woman and she was a drug addict. She was on crack real bad. She had several babies who were crack addicted. To the average person looking at her, she was just some loser. She was homeless. She was drug addicted. She was robbing people. She was a real menace to the neighborhood. She was stealing from her friends and family. I mean, she was just like really out there. And you would think, this person is just a screwed up individual. But I got to know her family. And her family would tell stories about her. And I found out that not only was she a talented fashion designer before the drugs took over, she had graduated top of her class. So that means she graduated high school with straight A's. I didn't graduate high school with straight A's. My grades were horrible in high school. My grades didn't get good till college. And I was so amazed. I was like, wow, this woman who everybody is teasing and calling a crackhead graduated top of her class and can design clothes out of a bed sheet. Her family told me all these stories about things that she's been making since she was a 5-6-year-old girl. She was hella talented, but decided to use drugs and gave in to her addiction. So everybody has potential. I told you a rock has potential. A rock has potential. I told you guys I saw somebody take rocks and paint them and they're selling them online and getting money. And they're nice too. They're really cute little decorative pieces. A rock has potential. Everything has potential. So a lot of Aquarius will hang around a person long enough. We'll see the beauty in them. We'll see the potential in them. But remember, Aquarius is an idealistic sign. So we see that and we're all idealistic and, oh, this person could be so great and look at what they're doing. And we're looking at them and we're kind of blinded by that. And what ends up happening is they usually don't live up to their own potential. So it's not that they're not who we think they are. They are that person. They just chose not to live up to that potential. Let me tell you about some people in my own life. My stepfather was an architectural engineer. He could draw anything from just looking at it. He did blueprints. He could fix things. He could create beautiful things. He put like these stained glass windows in our house. I mean, he could create beautiful things with homes and gardening and landscaping and stuff like that. He was amazing. But he started using drugs, trying to escape from the harsh realities of being sick, having diabetes, having been in Vietnam and getting shot up, bullets still riddled in his body that they couldn't even reach. And all of these things tore him up, and he became the ugliest person you will ever meet. And died just like that. But look at all that potential. He could have been building buildings, building cities. Could have been doing artwork. He could have been doing so many fabulous things and chose not to. So it's not that he wasn't that person. It's that he chose not to do the work to live up to his potential. My father was a genius. My father graduated high school at 16 years old because he kept getting skipped. He kept getting pushed up to the next grade because he was too smart for the grade he was in, and he would start problems. Because Aquarius, when we're bored, sometimes, my dad was Aquarius too. So when we're bored, sometimes we start problems. So he start problems when he got bored. So they kept pushing him up to the next level. Finally, he got 2 grades ahead, and it was really hard. So he really had to pay attention. And that's how he ended up graduating at 16 years old. Genius. My father could take small things from your house, plywood. One time he took plywood, a hair dryer, a curling iron, like old broken stuff, and made a dollhouse out of it that still works. The last time I saw it, I was in my teens, and it still was working. And he made it for my sister, who was 10 years older than me. So 20, 30 years later, it was still working. You could plug it in. It had lights in it. Some kind of way he went to the store and got little light bulbs. It had light bulbs in every room. It was amazing. But instead of living up to his potential and doing things like, he was, I would say, a contractor, electrician. He could do plumbing. He could have been a jack of all trades and got paid big money. What did he do? Start using drugs. Voldemort. You guys always hear me talk about Voldemort. Voldemort was one of my, I was getting ready to say my ex, and I stopped myself because I was like, I wasn't with him. One of my situationships, okay? Now, Voldemort. Voldemort and I had a conversation, one of our last conversations, the last time I saw him. And he was talking to me about wanting to learn how to tailor clothes. Voldemort is the snazziest dresser I've ever met in my life as far as a man is concerned. He is Dapper Dan. Okay? He always looked nice. I only seen Voldemort look not so nice once or twice in the years and years and years, decades that I've known him. Okay? Voldemort he has this kind of flair for adding things and adding scarves and taking things off and messing with colors and all kinds of stuff. His shoes and the things that he buys and how he gets them at good prices, because he's a big, tall guy, and he is able to make things and get things and look amazing. So I said to him in this conversation, since you're interested in alterations, why don't you take a class on doing clothing alterations? And then you can specialize in clothes for big and tall men. Maybe have your own tailoring shop. Start small on Etsy or something like that and build your way up. But he's so busy being bitter, being negative, ignoring his mental health issues, and having sex with anybody who'll have sex with him, that he can't stop for 15 seconds to focus. Just to focus. In this case, not even no drugs here. He doesn't even really drink. It's like he just so out there that he can't focus enough to just do something that would, live up to his greatest potential. So everybody has potential. The young lady who stole from me, she is brilliant. She taught herself how to read, write, and communicate in English. She's a Spanish speaker natively. And I was like, wow, I can barely speak Spanish. I'm still working on just the smallest thing. And she taught herself how to do it just from observation. Amazing potential. What is she doing? Nothing. You know? One of my other exes, the Taurus I always tell you about, I love the Taurus. The Taurus, when I met the Taurus, y'all, I was like, oh my God, is she beautiful? She was coming over the hill because I was like at the bottom of this, parking lot, and she was coming over the hill, and the way her hair was blowing, I was just like, wow, she's beautiful. I mean, I was like taken aback, and she is a very intelligent person. She's doing better now in her life because I think with maturity, she started to go after her potential, to start to, live up to her potential. But back then when we were together, I don't know what the hell she was doing. I don't know what she was doing, because it was like all the potential that she had. She's a talented artist. She does poetry. A lot of people that I like are artists. I love poets and painters and people who can, do colors and things like that. I love that because I'm into that. And she used to write, poems like off the top of her head, She could probably have volumes of poetry books if she wanted to. But what did she want to do? Not focus on that. She, in my opinion, was too busy running behind dudes. I mean, a lot of people, that's the problem. A lot of people are so busy running behind sex partners that they don't even focus on doing their potential, And it's not a problem to have a sex partner. It's not a problem to have a happy love life. I think that's great. But when it is something that takes precedence over you reaching your greatness, you now have an addiction. You now have a problem. And a lot of people are like that. Either they have a problem, a full-blown addiction, or they're borderlining on that shit. And they're letting it really mess up their life. Myself, I did not always reach up to my potential. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I just took whatever jobs and things came along. Whatever came along, I was just trying to pay the damn bills, So I ended up teaching a lot, things along those lines. And I really hated being a teacher for the school district. Not all the time. My years at the school I was at the longest were my happiest years, even though I complained a lot even during that time, but that was cool. But it was never really satisfying. I always wanted to do more or something different. Basically, I wanted to do what I do now. And I didn't have the courage. I didn't have them other issues that some people had. I guess I was wasting a lot of time with dating. I was wasting a lot of time with stuff like that and hanging out and partying and stuff like that when I could have been focusing. But a large part of it had to do with just fear of stepping out, fear of the unknown. Like, I got a good job. I'm secure. I got benefits, I got a 401k, if I leave all of this, I'm not secure. So for a long time, what held me back was that. And finally, I just became so unhappy that I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And it just so happened that the year I said I was gonna do it, there are no coincidences. The year I said I was gonna do it, my job informed me that I had to finish these classes and take this test or something. And if I didn't do it, I was fired. So I didn't do it. And I got fired. And I was like, okay, so now what? Now what am I going to do? And I looked around and I said, well, I love doing readings. So I'm going to do that. And that's how Asking Aquarius, that's how, my clothing, line, the Teespring collaboration I'm doing now, everything started in 2012 with that decision just not to do anything. I just was like, I was like Rosa Parks. I'm not getting up. I'm not going to another class. I'm not taking another training. I'm not doing another test. You know, I was just like, no, just no. And that no is what got me here. So I slowly but surely started doing the work to live up to my potential. So like I said, everybody has it, but everybody just doesn't live up to it. So when it comes down to it, Aquarius, when we see that potential in a person, that's what makes us impressed with them. That's what makes us love them and draw to them. But when they don't live up to it, we become disenchanted with them. And that's just the bottom line. We slowly but surely become more and more disenchanted till the relationship is done. I mean, we give you a lot of time though. You know, I had a good friend of mine, a Libra, loved my Libra. And when I first met my Libra, I was so impressed with her because she had such a great personality. She was so funny and she was so soothing to me. And I just knew she likes to cook. She has so many, talents. She's a talented medium. I taught her how to read cards. I mean, she's very talented in a lot of different ways. And for over a decade, I sat by hoping, wishing, encouraging, and she just didn't do nothing. I had all this talent and just, I don't know, fear. I don't know. Because every time I would ask her what she was doing, she was always, talking shit about somebody in somebody's business. She's always doing some dumb shit. And I would be like, well, why don't you, open up a shop on Etsy? Or why don't you go to the farmer's market and sell your cookies? Or I was always trying to encourage her to do something with her talent. And maybe a little something here and there, but nothing that really kicked off. But she was always trying to tell me what to do though. Those are the Libras. Now, mind you, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, and she's telling me, but not doing her own stuff, which is what a lot of people do. So that's what happens with the Aquarius. We become disenchanted when people don't live up to their potential and the magnificence that we see for them. It probably isn't fair, but I think it's just an emotional thing. Like I said, the disenchantment it's emotional. I just stop feeling them. I'm feeling them. I'm excited about them. I'm like, oh my God, look at this great person. My idealism is at its height. I'm geeking. And then it just lowers and lowers and lowers. And it's not anything I've done. I don't do it on purpose. It just gradually, naturally happens. The more they don't live up to their potential, the more my excitement goes down. And then finally, I just kind of give up that they're never going to do it. So it's time for me to get going. I hope I answered your question. And if you guys would like to get a reading done, please email me. If you would like to have any kind of contact with me, my information is underneath this video. If you would like to get a reading done, my email is underneath this video. Please email me or DM me or inbox me, and I'll be happy to help you with the reading. Okay? All right, guys. Happy full moon, and come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.